the Chargers of New Haven versus the hosting Fordham Rams from the Rose Hill Gym, and it's next on WFUV Sports. Welcome in to the Rose Hill Gym. It's a special occasion here on this Monday morning, only Monday morning game for the Fordham Rams this season, and it's Kids Day. I'm Chris Carino, joined by my partner, Tucker Austin. Tucker, a matchup between New Haven and Fordham. Almost hundreds of kids around us. Fordham Rams trying to make it 3 straight here in the Rose Hill Gym. More importantly than that, though, they're trying to keep their momentum up going into A10 play.
Yeah, Chris.
How are you, Tucker? You got the Santa hat on. You're looking jolly.
I'm doing
Things
great.
are good.
I'm doing great, Chris. I'm feeling the magic of the Christmas season right now in this gym. There's a lot of kids in the building, a lot of kids who are really excited for the upcoming holiday, as am I, as I'm sure you are. But it's a packed house in this building today. Kids primarily from primary, middle school, high school in the area of Fordham filling the ranks of the student sections today. Most Fordham students are already home for the holidays at this point, but this might still be one of the loudest games in this gym this season, just from how many kids that they brought in here for this one. It's going to be a fun game.
It's going to be a fun one. I've only experienced the women's side of the Kids Day. That was fantastic and electric. I expect no different from today. We got a chance, or should I say I got a chance to catch up with Coach Magpaio before the game. Take a listen to that now. Coach, getting ready for this one, coming into this one, a win over your rival, whether it was your front court or your back court, it was groups combining for a lot of points. Henry and Day combining for a lot of points, Abbas and Rikas combining for a lot of points. What does it do for a confidence perspective for you, having your groups playing that well?
Yeah, I think the whole week of practice was, we were feeding off that confidence. There was a lot of momentum, and we were in rhythm this week all the way through every single practice, even in the midst of finals. So you really hope that shows up on the court today. I'm looking forward to, and I'm excited to see what it looks like, because the guys had a really good week of practice, and you can see us building and growing, especially off the Manhattan win.
Yeah, and that hype for Rikas specifically, I feel like has been building over the last month or so. You hear more and more chatter about him. It felt like the last one was really the breakout, 21-10. Is that where you see his potential going? Do you see him getting even better? What does his fullest potential look like to you?
Man, I feel like he just keeps breaking the ceiling, whatever the glass ceiling. He's been surprising me every day, and I shouldn't, because as somebody who takes a lot of pride in our program and the development of players who were underlooked in the past. When you find a guy like Rikas who's literally in the gym every single morning, if you come in the gym at 8:30, 9 in the morning, he's working 6-7 days a week. Guys develop, they get better, we believe in it, and he's really proven it at a high level right now. And it's just so under the radar. Like, Rikas is an under the radar type guy, but he kind of is a gritty, underdog type story, and I love it. So where is ceiling? I mean, I guess the next step would be him start banging threes, but and then playing some 4-man with us as we get healthier.
Yeah, and another guy I want to talk about, Roar Core, got the start last week. Talking about just true freshmen in general, they don't really get starts in this modern college basketball climate. It's rare, but it happens. What was that from a confidence perspective from that decision? How did you make that decision? And what has he done in practice to give you the confidence to make that decision?
Yeah, he's just fearless, and we need a little bit of that. And we always say this when we're on the recruiting. There's no hazing. There's no freshmen, seniors, juniors. So everybody can lead in this program. And in my past, if you look at my history as a head coach, 6 years, most of those years I've started a freshman, and many times they're from Australia for whatever reason, and they come from the same place, actually, the Center of Excellence, because they have a great approach, and they really had been a part of a college professional type program for those years that they were there. And Roar's no different. He came in with a great approach. He's fearless. I love his positional size at the 3 for us. With Christian and Day, maybe you're a little smaller in the backcourt, but Roar gives you rebounding and just length, might block a shot, might protect the rim a little more, and then gives us this opportunity to play this really long, lengthy zone that gave the Manhattan problems last Saturday.
You talk about that lengthy zone. United would be a word to describe how you can play that successfully. This is your last game before your A10 schedule, your A10 slate. What are some of the characteristics you would like other teams to use when looking at this last game you're getting on tape?
Man, I mean, United, that's great. I just wrote that down because all I've been trying to preach to the guys is building a team, and the strength is in the pack, and really, and so, that's what I hope. Even for the Fordham fans and the community, just when they're looking at our team, are they seeing a team that they can root for? Are we defending and gritty? And do we try to rebound? And do we take care of the ball? Do we share the ball with each other? And so that's what I hope that shows up today, this morning. I was going to say tonight.
I know, this morning. It's early.
This morning. The start will be big. Like coming out, like one of our keys is start to finish attack, because New Haven, in the games they played well, they came out on fire against Boston College. And so you really do got to match that energy. I don't think it'll be too challenging, as we got a gym full of little kids in here that'll bring
Right.
enthusiasm, New York City kids as well. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, Kids Day is always fun. Just one more last quick
Sure.
one. How important from a momentum perspective is it to get to 6-7 first today so the kids scream and you have that
No.
you have that big crowd?
I heard about like our assistant coach and our compliance guys' kids cry because we got stuck on 67 at
That game, against Holy Cross or whatever, because we were there, they cheered, and then we got stuck there for a while. So, my sons never stopped saying it. I'd love to. Let's break 77 tonight. Let's get over 77 today.
Thank you, Coach. As always, New Haven versus Fordham next on WFUV Sports. Back here in the Bronx, we have player introductions going on for the Fordham Rams. Roricore, true freshman, getting announced as we speak. He gets his second start in a row. Marcus Green in the lineup today. Roricore still starting over him. Tucker, that's a big splash by Coach Magpie.
Yeah, Chris, it's really interesting to see him give that much credence to a freshman in the lineup. After Marcus Green missed the Manhattan game with some food poisoning that cropped up at the last minute, Roricore stepped into his role in a big way against the Jaspers. He played some good defense. The offense wasn't quite there, but he really gave them some length on the defensive end. That was part of why they were able to dominate that second half. So we'll see if that defensive approach comes into play in this game. Fordham, though, when you look at the numbers, Fordham should really just get out in front in this game and never look back. They got to punch early and often to get by this UNH team. In their first, UNH as in New Haven, not New Hampshire.
Key distinction.
Yes. But the key here for the Rams is going to just be to get out in front and punch them right in the jaw. This is New Haven's first year in Division I and the first game between the Chargers and the Rams all time, so Fordham needs to take the initiative today.
Yeah, absolutely. The rest of that starting lineup with Roricore, as we said, Roricore in that starting lineup. Akira Jacobs joining him in that front court along with Rika Schulte. Schulte having 21-10 in their last game against rival Manhattan College. And, of course, the backcourt of Day-Day Reeves and Christian Henry. The backcourt that's been so steady of late for this Ram team. About to get it started here at New Haven. For New Haven, it's Fitzpatrick, Falopa, George, Pasha, and Briggs. Briggs sliding in the starting lineup. Tristan Berth has gotten a lot of starts for this New Haven team, the freshman from the Bronx. He's out of the starting lineup in favor of Kenny Briggs. Briggs, the senior from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Enrique Schulte wins the opening tip, and the Fordham Rams have it to start off this afternoon, this Monday in December.
Schulte with another double-double last game against Manhattan. We'll see what he can do, number 12 for the Rams today.
Henry backdoor pass, Roricore, right post, puts up a shot, no good off the rim, and a rebound brought down by New Haven. New Haven moving in their away dark blue uniforms with yellow names and numbers. They're going left to right. Fordham in their home whites with maroon names and numbers. They're going right to left. New Haven, dribble handoff, right wing, Briggs. Pass in the left corner, and a foot stepped on the line. Najimi George stepping in the corner right in front of the Fordham bench, and that's going to be a turnover for New Haven, out of bounds.
That was a big part of Fordham's win last time out against Manhattan, was their ability to force those turnovers and make the Jaspers commit unforced errors. Another one there to start this one off from the Chargers. Fordham with a chance to take an early lead here.
Najimi George, local player for New Haven from Bridgeport, Connecticut, sophomore, only returner to play major minutes for this New Haven team this season. Henry at the right elbow, left corner to Jacobs. His three, no good off left side of the rim. Schulte is there for the second chance for the Rams. Offensive rebound. Reeves has it, top of the key. Left wing, top of the key, back to Jacobs. Now Henry has it, right wing, around a Jacobs screen. Gets it back to Jacobs, right wing. Pump fake, drives, gets the ball stolen. Fitzpatrick double teams, takes it away. New Haven going the other way in transition, and Fitzpatrick finishing with a layup in traffic.
And Chris, there's a reason he's leading this Chargers team in scoring. Jabri Fitzpatrick getting it done, goes coast to coast after the steal and gets the two.
averaging a lot of steals on the season as well. He's been good at that all year, and a travel. Christian Henry trying to operate in the lane. He ends up taking too many steps. An unforced error for Fordham on the offensive end. New Haven getting it back with a lead.
Now, Chris, we're just a minute and a half into this game, but Fordham already getting in a little bit of trouble, moving a little bit too fast for themselves. They got to slow themselves down, get calmed down, and start to settle into this game.
George out of the left wing, tried to get it inside to Pasha. Ball's now loose. New Haven got it back. Pass in the right corner. Fitzpatrick, that three, no good. Offside rim. Roricore, the freshman, on the rebound.
Yeah, Roricore using that 6'7" frame to box out underneath.
Reeves going quickly the other way, driving inside and finishing with a layup at the rim. Day Reeves receiving the outlet pass and wasting no time for the Fordham offense.
Chris, that was a gimme layup, and this building just lost its roof.
Schulte steals it at midcourt, and a finish with two hands on the other end. Rieke Schulte with a jam, and he has these kids in a frenzy on this Monday afternoon.
I was about to say, Chris, you heard how loud they were on that layup. Imagine a big, high-energy play, and Rieke Schulte with the steal transition dunk. Unbelievable.
Schulte been having great steals all season long. He's had 12 steals in his last 6 games. That's 13. George finishing with a highly contested blocking Akira Jacobs. It didn't matter. Najimy George on the layup. 4-4 tie between New Haven and Fordham. 17:26 to go in this first half. Louis Lesmond and Ryan Pettis out for the Rams, both in Nike Techs at the end of the Fordham bench. Christian Henry no good on his floater off glass. New Haven's there on the rebound.
Yeah,
Patrick.
Notably, though, Chris, we could see Zach Whitbourne today, likely going to be the debut of the 6'11" Australian.
Yeah, that's big, Tucker. Miss from the right wing from 3 from George. Fordham gets it, and they're going the other way with speed. Reeves, pass to Roricore on the right wing, back to Reeves. Reeves guarded tightly by Briggs, takes the top of the key 3, no good, missing rim, and that's a rebound brought down by New Haven. It's Falopa. Pass to Fitzpatrick. Looked like he double dribbled. Didn't. Fitzpatrick looking for a pass. Finds one inside. Pasha out of the left block. Backing down Schulte. Schulte trying to poke it away. Ends up being a pass to the other side of the court. George, right baseline, driving inside, finishing strongly with 2 hands at the rim. More fantastic work on the offensive end from George.
Yeah, if there's one thing that this Chargers team is doing really well early, it's their footwork in the paint and getting to the rim, finishing so easy to get big points against this Fordham squad.
6-4 New Haven lead, 16-12 to go in this first half. Henry out of the top of the key, moving right around a Jacob screen. Mid-range jumper, no good. Offensive rebound brought down by a core, and the putback is good. The kids behind the basket were ahead of it, but Roricore doing the dirty work and getting rewarded for it as well. Game tied once again.
Yeah, his first field goal of this one. He only had 1 field goal in the last game against Manhattan. We mentioned the offensive struggles, but today starting off on the right foot and retying the ball game.
Both these teams shooting above 50% from the field to start this one, and New Haven continues. Andre Pasha straight on 3, and the 6'9" forward gets a 3 to go for the Chargers. 9-6, 15:30 to go in this first half.
His 11th made 3 of the season for Pasha for this Chargers team. That's second best on the squad.
Schulte tried to pass it inside after receiving a double team. That ball goes inerrant off the body of Akira Jacobs. It'll be New Haven ball. Another turnover for the Fordham offense, Tucker.
Interesting start to this game so far, Chris. Fordham still seems a little bit disconnected on the offensive end. Not really sure what their game plan is or what they want to do with the basketball once they get down to the offensive end. New Haven's doing a great job of playing defense as Fordham plays offense. And what I mean by that is that New Haven doesn't really have a defensive set, but they are simply adapting to what Fordham shows them on the offensive end, and it's working out well so far.
And Fordham already 2 offensive rebounds. New Haven doesn't seem to be the team that give themselves extra chances on the offensive end. They're still yet to have an offensive rebound, but you don't need extra chances, Tucker, when you can shoot 66% from the field in the first 5 minutes, 4 for 6 from the field for the Chargers. They've been efficient, and it's carried them this whole first 5 minutes.
Absolutely, Chris. And when you look at the rebounding margins between these two teams, Fordham clearly the better rebounding team. And especially if you look at that Manhattan game, Fordham dominated the glass. Manhattan had absolutely no ability to get the basketball on the defensive or on the offensive end when it came to rebounding. Today, though, New Haven looks to try and change that a little bit, because if you do let Fordham have their way with the glass on either end, it doesn't give you a lot of room to wiggle, but New Haven, so far, no, they haven't gotten an offensive rebound, but they are out-rebounding Fordham in terms of the defensive boards. Could be something to watch as this game continues.
It's been close. It's been highly contested, really tightly contested so far. It seems that Fordham's more talented, but this New Haven team hustling hard and making up for maybe that talent that they missed going up against Fordham.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, this New Haven team is brand new, as we've mentioned, to Division I, but they played a lot of really high-profile opponents in the early part of their first season at this level. They played UConn to start on the road against a team that's looking to win national championships.
Tucker,
Chris.
how about your first D1 game as a program? Go play Danny Hurley and the boys down at Stores.
It's unbelievable.
Not bad.
They did wind up, they lost by quite a bit, but they still put up 55 points against that UConn squad and held them to under 80 points at home.
Yeah, if they would have even kept that close, it would have been improbable.
Exactly, but they also played Penn State, hosted Penn State earlier this season for a pretty interesting matchup. They also went on the road against Seton Hall. Now, I mentioned all of those opponents. They've lost all of those games, but I think there's something to be said when a team makes that jump from D2 into D1 and is able to play against high-level opponents so that they can really hone their own skills and abilities. I think we're seeing it right now. Fordham likely didn't think much of this Chargers team coming in, but they've got a little bit more in the tank than I think Magpio and the Rams were expecting.
And a full-court press from the Rams gets Henry a steal in the backcourt. Core from the left corner, no good on the three. New Haven gets it back, avoiding disaster in the backcourt. Also, a lot has been said by Fordham's rest coming into this one. Haven't played since the 13th. New Haven's rest has been even longer. They haven't played since the 10th. Fitzpatrick going around to screen, taking a right elbow jumper. No good from mid-range. Eventually brought down by Rika Schulte and the Rams.
Yeah, 4 Fordham Rams in the area underneath, battling each other for the rebound. You'd love to see the tenacious activity underneath from the Rams.
Shout out Jack Black. Dede Reeves on the right wing, inside to Rika Schulte, now in the right post, inside to Abbas Bodija, wide open under the basket for a layup. What beautiful vision there from Rika Schulte, the big man, Tucker.
And that's Abbas Bodija building off of an excellent performance last time out for the Rams. 6 for 8 for 14 points off the bench against Manhattan last time out.
Yeah, Bodija and Schulte in the front court combining for 35 points in that one. Ball poked away, It'll be out of bounds. It'll stay here with New Haven. Also, that front court, I talked about them a little bit in the beginning. Dede Reeves, Christian Henry, so important to this team. They combined for 37 points against Manhattan. Both those groups really important to this team's offense and just this team in general.
Yeah, Chris, it's really easy to see because these guys are the lead 2 scorers on this Fordham team. It's so obvious what they bring to the table for this Rams squad.
Straight on three from the top of the key. No good off back iron. Schulte once again there on the defensive glass. There's Adelaide on the miss. Schulte, top of the key. Looking for a dribble handoff. Gets one with Henry. Left wing. Henry driving right. Lob pass inside to Schulte. Schulte, an array of passes. Eventually get to Dede Reeves. Kick out pass. Rora Core's three. No good. Rimming in and out. Kids got excited, ended up being disappointed.
It rattled out that time, but it was an excellent look for a core and better ball movement from the Rams to get him that open look. A lot of moving the ball near the baseline.
Straight on, Pasha, guarded by Schulte. Trying to get Anthony the ball. He does. Another dribble handoff. The returner, George. George behind the back dribble. Now drives inside through the left side of the lane. Lost the ball, but it was picked up by Adelaide, his teammate, and scored. Miscellaneous offensive play there from the Chargers, but they get a bucket.
Yeah, a little bit of fortuitousness there for the Chargers as what looked like a wild shot just kind of landed right in the hands of Adelaide underneath the basket for the wide open layup.
And there's some activity off the ball. It's going to be a foul on New Haven off the ball. That one's on Christian Henry.
And here comes Marcus Green.
Inflicted on Christian Henry. Yeah, Marcus Green, what we've called the third wheel of the guard situation, coming in for Christian Henry. But that's not the biggest news of the substitution, Tucker. The biggest news of the substitution, Jack Whitbourne is on the hardwood. Subbing in for Rika Schulte. Jack Whitbourne, the transfer from UC Riverside, arguably the highest touted transfer from UC Riverside, maybe the highest touted transfer in general. Hasn't seen the court yet this season. This is his first moments on the floor as a Fordham Ram. A miss there on a layup from Marcus Green off the inbound. Not a great start for the Rams after the substitution. New Haven has it offensively. Pasha, top of the arc, pass on the right wing. Traore. Now pass to Anthony, left wing. Pasha facing up Whitbourne, top of the key, takes the mid-range jumper, no good off front rim. Rebound by Akor. Whitbourne already defending well. Exchanging chest bumps with Pasha as well. A little extracurriculars between the big men. Reeves picking up a double team on the right wing, passing out to Core. Core back to Reeves. Reeves
really
on the right wing.
Tight defense from these Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers playing great defense. Reeves at the free throw line. Pass back out to Core. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Into Whitbourne. Right block. Puts up a jumper. No good from the middle of the paint. Rebound brought down under the basket by the Chargers. New Haven have it now.
Not a bad look. Whitbourne knew that he had a bit of a size advantage in the interior there and could get a shot up clean. Just couldn't get it to go, but you love that take.
Yeah, it was a great look. Pass now on the left wing. George to Anthony, top of the arc. Anthony. Dribble handoff. Pasha. Right wing three for Pasha. It's good. Pasha looked very confident shooting that one, and it was nothing but nylon. Pasha getting his group out to a 6-point lead. 14-8, 11:50 to go in this first half.
But Pasha, only the third leading scorer on this squad, but one of the better shooters. 323 from beyond the arc so far this season coming in, and already 2 that he's knocked down today.
Day Reeves, right elbow jumper is good from the mid-range. The kids here at Rose Hill were looking for a Fordham score. They got one, and Fordham back within 4.
When you need a bucket, call Day Reeves. He's absolutely automatic in the post and at the elbow. There's a reason why he's a top 5 scorer among A10 players to start this season.
The guy on the marquee for Fordham, if you will, Tucker. George, top of the arc, fakes the dribble handoff to Anthony. Ends up getting it to Traore. Traore getting it to Pasha. Pasha wants the ball. Fake the dribble handoff. Now in the right corner. Driving baseline. Briggs scoring strongly. Got picked up on a double team by Abbas Bodija. It didn't matter. He got to the basket.
The experience from the senior guard, Kenai Briggs, out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. What a move inside to get to the basket. And early on, New Haven is making a real statement against this Fordham team, leading by 6 in the first half against the team who has the least opponents' points per game in the Atlantic 10.
New Haven Chargers out to a hot start, 16-10, 11:03 to go in this first half. We'll have more action from the first half, but first we're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios for a one-on-one scoreboard update with Maggie Danahy. Take it away, Maggie.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Starting off with your New York Rangers, who lost 2-1 to the Nashville Predators at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville yesterday. The Rangers play once again tomorrow against the Washington Capitals in Capital One Arena before the Christmas break. Moving on to the New York Knicks, who beat the Miami Heat 132-125. The Knicks were led by Jalen Brunson, who had a season-high 47 points. Over in Brooklyn, the Nets beat the Toronto Raptors 96-81. Michael Porter Jr. led all scorers with 24 points. For some New York football, the Jets were blown out in the Big Easy, losing to the New Orleans Saints 29-6. The 2-13 Giants also suffered a loss to the Minnesota Vikings, with the final score being 16-13. From Rose Hill with your updates, I'm Maggie Danahy.
Back here in the Bronx at the beautiful Rose Hill Gym, 16-10, New Haven lead, 11 minutes to go in this first half. Thank you to Maggie for that update, getting information from all around the sports world. Chris Carino joined by Tucker Austin. Tucker, 16-10, Fordham deficit just 9 minutes into this one. It's been a tale of offensive efficiency. This New Haven team being really efficient offensively, and this Fordham team not efficient offensively, shooting just 5 for 14 from the field and 0 for 4 from 3.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, the exact difference in this game being 6 points is the three-pointers. Fordham is 0 for 4 from long range. Meanwhile, New Haven is 2 for 5. So those 6 points, the difference in the game, all coming from those three-pointers. These teams are dead even in the paint points to start this one. All 10 of Fordham's points have come from inside the painted area, 10 of New Haven's 16. So nobody's scoring outside the paint except for three-pointers so far in this one. Fordham, three-pointers have not been their strong suit, but they want it to be.
Yeah,
so it's going to be about just continuing to take those shots when the opportunities present themselves and trying to get those threes to start falling, because Fordham's defense, we know, is there.
Kira Jacobs pump faking in the left corner, now in the left post. Jack Whitbourne going to operate, gets picked up on a double team. Passes eventually get to Marcus Green. His left wing three, no good. Kingston Price subbing in the game for Day Reeves. Price, his role keeps getting bigger and bigger with this Fordham team. thought of as almost a walk-on role at the beginning of this season and has now blossomed into a full rotation player for the Rams.
And at first it was injuries that had him getting into the game more often, but now it's really just because of his play.
Falopa, dribble handoff, left wing. Anthony stopping at the left elbow, back up Pasha. Backdoor pass, Fitzpatrick, pass to Anthony. Anthony drives left of the lane. No good at the rim, but it's going to be a goaltend on the shot. It's going to be Jack Whitbourne called on the goaltend, and Coach Magpio wants a review immediately.
Yeah, first thing Coach Magpio did after that play was put his finger up in the air and spin it around a couple times, the universal review signal. But, Chris, I don't know about this one. That basketball looked like it may have been on its way down. I think Whitbourne got to it before it got to the glass, but it was moving down before it hit the glass. So I don't think the Rams are going to get the call that they're looking for on this one.
So it's going to be a shot clock violation
that is
called
interesting.
Before the shot. So regardless if it was a goaltender or not, a shot clock violation before that, and Fordham gets the ball back. Also, something to point out on that play, Coach Hyland is the review specialist for this group. Coach Ryan Hyland, the former John Jay College head coach, usually is the one checking to see if they should review. Coach Magpio not even looking at Coach Hyland, immediately reviewing that one. Fordham Rams winning that challenge now with a 6-point deficit and the ball, just under 10 minutes. Christian Henry on the right wing from the mid-range gets that to go. Fordham Rams trying to continue that efficiency on the offensive end, something they lacked at the beginning stages of this one.
Yeah, Henry picked up an MVP award for his performance in the Battle of the Bronx last time out against Manhattan. He's also averaging 18.8 points per game, a blistering mark in his last 5 games.
Yeah. Whitbourne, athletic rebound with one hand under the basket, and he gets the ball back for Fordham after a New Haven miss. Henry going right around a Whitbourne screen, now top of the arc. Jacobs back to Henry. Henry now going left around a Whitbourne screen. Crossover left to right in the middle of the lane. Hook, right-handed layup, gets it to go. Christian Henry, nifty work, showing off all the prowess on that offensive move.
Through the contact with the English, Christian Henry, unbelievable move from the senior that time. Henry's been so good for this Fordham team all season.
Coach Magpio been singing his praises a lot recently. You see why. Right wing 3, Anthony, no good off the right side of the rim. New Haven on the second chance. Offensive rebound brought down by Berth. Anthony has it back on the right wing. Kick out, left wing. Traore pump fakes, drives inside, tries to dump it off to Falopa, and it's going to be out of bounds, staying under the basket with New Haven. Subbing in Rikas Schulte. He'll sub in for Jack Whitbourne. Jack Whitbourne going to have limited minutes tonight, not on a minute restriction, but going to have limited minutes in his return.
It's so tough when you have a player like Rikas Schulte, who usually has to take a seat when you put Whitbourne in, because you want to get Whitbourne some more minutes, get him settled into his debut game here. But Schulte is a double-double machine. Every minute he's off the floor is a negative.
And Falopa tries to pass it out from under the basket. It's stolen away. Fordham now has it offensively. Henry going right around the screen. Right wing 3, no good. Swirling around the rim. Schulte fighting on the offensive glass, couldn't get it. Jabri Fitzpatrick is there on the defensive rebound. New Haven now working offensively. Up 2, 16-14, 8-11 to go in this first half. Fitzpatrick, top of the key, guarded by Henry. Pass to Traore on the left wing. Traore, top of the key. Berth getting hounded by Price and Schulte. Ball loose. Fordham trying to grab it. Bodies on the floor. Eventually picked up by Schulte. Outlet pass to Price. He has trouble with it. And he's called out of bounds. Looks like he was pushed out of bounds by a New Haven player. And we're going to get an argument here from Coach Magpio and the referees. I don't know how you don't call that a foul.
This is an interesting situation, Chris, because the referees seemed to not really know what to call there, because so many things happened on that last series. You can try to repackage it for you right now, but essentially right in front of our table right here, Chris, there is a scramble for the loose ball on the floor. 3-4 different players all crawling around on the floor trying to get after the basketball. Eventually, Akira Jacobs is the one who falls on top of it and kicks it back to Rikas Schulte.
Yeah.
Schulte then fires it down the floor to awaiting Kingston Price under the basket.
A hybrid lob outlet pass.
A little bit. Just something to try and get the ball down the floor, because so many defenders were still stuck on Fordham's half of the floor. But once the ball did get down there, Kingston Price corralled it right underneath the basket, but still kind of had trouble with it before a defender pulled up right behind him and then gave him a little bit of a bump with the body contact, and Price eventually fell forward and out of bounds. Now, could it have been called a shove? Maybe. At the same time, it kind of looked like Price's momentum was taking him out of bounds a little bit, so I don't think it's ridiculous to call that one straight out of bounds. However, I do understand why Fordham fans may have wanted a shove on that one, because it looked like the contact was the last little bit that Price needed to fully fall out of bounds.
And looking at the team stats, Tucker, even if they don't get the ball back here, Fordham playing a little bit better efficiency-wise. They made 2 of their last 3 field goals, still 0 for 6 from the three-point line. You talked about how they aren't necessarily a three-point specialist team, but it's a part of their game they really want to incorporate into how they win games. Obviously, a lot of that, Tucker, has to do with Louis Lesmont. He's out, getting him healthy and back to playing his best basketball. Really big for the entire three-point situation of this roster. Looking forward, especially heading into A-10s, you want to be better than they've been from the three-point line this afternoon.
Yeah, and Chris, that's really what's so odd about this Fordham team, is that for basically, since before the start of the season, Mike Magpaio's plan with this team was to have a three-point shooting team. Have a team that was, lethal from three-point range when they needed to be. But so far this year, it's just been a general struggle from beyond the arc for the Rams. So, of course, they'd like to see more of those threes go down, but it starts to get to a point where you've now started this game over from three-point range, 0 for 6 compared to 2 for 7. It doesn't really seem like a place where they can get points at the moment, so they kind of have to look more inside, look towards the paint a little bit more. They've only added 2 points in the paint since the last time we mentioned these stats, but Chris, Fordham is just going to have to look for some different opportunities to score the basketball.
And I have to stop you, Tucker. I'm trying to think of more, and a steal in the backcourt on the inbound immediately. Fitzpatrick regathers it. New Haven going to hold on to it. Now have it in the front court. Pass back out, trying to get it to Pasha. Eventually Fitzpatrick picks it up. He has it top of the arc for the New Haven offense. Pass on the left wing. George working on a core. Hop step inside and a layup at the rim with the right hand. Gets it to go. Nifty move from Najima George.
Boy, Najimi George just so smooth in the interior. That's the second time today that he's cut straight through the lane and gone with the reverse.
New Haven
Chargers a 4-point lead.
Now with a 4-point lead, as there's an inerrant pass with the Fordham Rams. Ends up being a ball rolling across the front court out of bounds. Fordham going to lose the ball again, turn it over again. And the Fordham offensive woes continue. As me and you both said, a 4-point lead for New Haven. 18-14, 7-11 to go in this first half. A low-scoring first half for both teams. It's now at the left elbow. Falopa, no good on the mid-range. Fitzpatrick gets it on the batted-out ball. It's now in the left corner. George's 3, air ball. George there on the second effort in the backcourt, trying to get that one. And a foul called on him, on Christian Henry. Christian Henry smacking the hardwood. He is in serious pain, and he does not seem to be doing well. Seems to be in a lot of pain on the ground.
That's not good, Chris.
Christian
Henry, it splayed out immediately on the floor after the contact between him and Najimi George. George was pressing and actually got his hand on the basketball, but made some contact with Henry. And once Henry did go down, he hit the floor, as you said, multiple times, just slapping the hardwood.
I wasn't sure if he was mad about the play. That's why I hesitated. I wasn't sure if he was mad about the play or he was mad about his injury. Christian Henry now getting up, receiving applause, and going straight toward the locker room.
I can't really...
followed by a trainer.
Yeah, I couldn't tell really either, Chris, but it seemed pretty apparent to me relatively quickly that Henry wasn't as disappointed in the play as he was with whatever just happened to him physically. He still walked off the floor under his own power and headed over to the trainer's table to get checked out, but...
And Henry not fully leaving the gym, just going behind the cooler, now chatting with the trainer. We'll see if he re-enters the bench. We'll keep you updated on that. Fordham offense now working, down 4. 6:40 to go in this first half. Day-Day Reeves on the right wing. Now working in the mid-range, takes a 10-footer, doesn't get it to go. Schulte there on the second chance. He gets it to go from under the basket. Schulte working his body around the rim and getting it to go with the right hand, getting his Rams back within 2.
Marcus Schulte now 2 for 2 today. And dating back to the Manhattan game, he's now 12 of his last 12 shots from the floor.
Pass inside Falopa, beautiful backdoor pass. Pasha lost it under the basket. Fordham now moving the other way. Roricourt passing up the open 3, gives it to Dede Reeves. Dede Reeves, top of the arc. Now backing down his defender, back out to Akira Jacobs. Jacobs gets it to Marcus Green. Green back to Dede Reeves. Dede Reeves moving right around to Schulte screen. Cross-court pass to Roricourt. His left wing 3, no good off right side of the rim. Rebound brought down by New Haven. Briggs coming the other way, stopping at the right wing. Pass into Pasha. Pasha at the right elbow, back out to Falopa. Falopa dribble handoff to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick now double teamed on the left wing. Now back to Falopa. Falopa looking inside. Pass to Pasha. Pasha back to Schulte. Now a pass to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick trying to drive on Reeves. Kick out. George's 3. No good from the left wing. Schulte brings it down on the defensive glass. Fordham moving the other way. Christian Henry has re-entered the bench. He's sitting there in between Louis Lesmond and a trainer. Dede Reeves stopping at the left block and finishing the other way. A little show and go for Dede Reeves on the left block, and he has the Fordham offense reinvigorated. It's now a tie game, 18-18, 5 minutes to go in this first half.
And as long as Christian Henry is out of this game, Dede Reeves is going to have to pick up that slack, as he has done all season for the Rams and did so again.
Fitzpatrick up top for New Haven. New Haven offense working. Pass inside Pasha. Takes a jumper at the free throw line and gets it to go. Nothing but net once again for Pasha. He's got a pretty jumper. 20-18 New Haven lead, 4:38 to go in this first half. Dede Reeves, right wing, working right around a Schulte screen. Kick out, right corner Green. Green. Good defense from Fitzpatrick. Back out Dede Reeves. Dede Reeves moving right around a Jacobs screen. Now calling for another screen that ends up passing out. Back up top to Jacobs. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Pass to Green, right wing. Takes a long 3. No good. Off back iron. And Falopa's there on the defensive glass. Quick outlet pass to George.
0 for 8 from three-point range to start for the Rams today.
George, cross-court pass. Falopa, right corner 3. Gets it to go. Stefano Falopa, the Italian native, gets the 3 to go and gets his Chargers out to a 5-point lead. 23-18, 3:50 to go in this first half. Coach Hodeling in that full suit on the sideline for the Chargers. He's in good spirits.
It's a great look, Chris.
Schulte has it at the left elbow. Akira Jacobs seemingly, as my father would say, hit in the batteries, and he's on the ground in pain and is going to receive some attention from a trainer. These Fordham Rams continuing to fall. Fordham Rams haven't had too much unluckiness when it comes to injuries in game. A lot of their injuries and general illnesses have come outside of game. This one, we've already seen 2 injuries from the Rams. It's not even the end of the first half.
Yeah, but Christian Henry, it seems like he's back on the bench. We're not sure if he's going to re-enter the game, but he does seem to be doing pretty fine. Akira Jacobs back up on his feet now and making the walk over to the bench. A bit of a grimace on his face, but at the same time, I think he's laughing at himself just a little bit.
And Tucker, just looking at all the stats combined, as well as a basketball team can play, Tucker, it's really hard to win a basketball game when you're 0 for 7 for 3.
Yeah, Chris.
And it's not really seeming like it's getting better.
It's nearly impossible when you're shooting that poorly from the three-point line. Really, Chris, the complexion of this game entirely changes if Fordham knocks down just a couple of those three-pointers.
We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios for another one-on-one scoreboard update with Mag and Danahy. Take it away, Maggie.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Week 16 of the NFL had a handful of critical games with playoff implications. Starting with the AFC, the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Denver Broncos 34-20. Yesterday, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Detroit Lions 29-24 in a dramatic fashion. On primetime Sunday Night Football, the New England Patriots clinched a playoff berth after a late comeback led by MVP contender Drake May saw them beat the Baltimore Ravens 28-24. Over to the NFC, on Thursday night, the Los Angeles Rams came away victorious over the Seattle Seahawks 38-37 in an overtime thriller. And finally, the Carolina Panthers, who sit first in the NFC South, beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 23-20. With your one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Maggie Danahy.
Back here at the Rose Hill Gym, 3:41 to go here in our first half. Thanks to Maggie once again. 23-18 New Haven lead over the Fordham Rams. Things have not gone well, especially from a momentum perspective, Tucker, for this Fordham team on the offensive end.
No, Chris, it has not. But not to fear, because Fordham also had a relatively slow offensive start last time out against Manhattan. But the big difference in that game was coming into the second half, Fordham came in with a huge defensive lockdown combined with an offensive explosion that allowed them to eventually win that game by near 30 points. So, in this game, very similar matchup in terms of where both these teams are at in KenPom rankings. So, Fordham, a slow start again in this first half, but I'd expect them to make a charge back to the top.
And Reeves driving quick inside off the inbound and scoring at the rim. Fordham Rams 0 for 8 on their 0 for 8 from 3 still. They were scoreless for the last 1 minute and 33. It was a 5-0 run for New Haven before that bucket. Pasha mid-range jumper, no good. Schulte there on the defensive glass. Christian Henry sitting at midcourt. He'll sub back into this one. Day Reeves on the right wing, going left around to Schulte screen. Nice bounce pass inside to Schulte. Couldn't quite hang on, and that'll go out of bounds. A turnover for the Fordham Rams.
I was about to say, Chris, they got that stop on the defensive end, and then in a three-point game, now would be a better time than ever to get that first made three-pointer of the game to fall to retie this game.
Marcus Green subbing out of this one for Christian Henry. Henry back in there. Pasha at the left elbow, trying to find Fitzpatrick. Ends up going to the top of the arc. Adelaide back to Pasha. Pasha pump faking to Adelaide. Right wing three, no good. Good two-man game, ends up not working out. Schulte there on the defensive glass. Fordham going the other way.
As much as Fordham is 0 for 8 from 3, Fordham's getting bailed out by the fact that New Haven's only hit 3 of their 10 shots from beyond the arc.
Christian Henry tripped up in the lane. It'll be a reach-in foul on New Haven. It'll go on Jabri Fitzpatrick. And we're going to see there's a review on that one to be intentional. Players for Fordham calling for Coach Magpio to review that one for an intentional foul. I don't think they will. It'll be a box formation for the inbound under the basket for the Rams. Henry inbounding it on the right side of the baseline. Gets into Bodija. Bodija back to Henry. Henry out of the right corner. Tried to let go of the ball as he jumped for a shot. Ends up being called a travel. And that'll lead right into a timeout for New Haven. Coach Hodeling wanted to talk it over.
Well, that shot was going to get blocked all day long, Chris, in the corner. Christian Henry just trying to do his best not to lead into a block there and looking for an option in the pass, but just wound up bouncing it off the floor back to himself for an easy double dribble. But as I was saying before, Chris, if New Haven was even a slightly better three-point shooting team, Fordham would be in serious trouble right now.
Yeah.
They should be thanking the basketball gods right now that they're only down by 3 points and with a chance to even maybe get back in front and take a lead going into halftime.
No, absolutely. When you make a team that's shooting 3 for 10 look like the Splash Brothers, that's not good. Just in general, both these teams not shooting a really high clip from the field. New Haven shooting a bit of a higher clip at 45%, 10 for 22. Fordham Rams shooting at just 41% from the field in general, 10 for 24. Fordham wants to get that higher if they want success in this one. Fitzpatrick immediately trapped in the backcourt. A full court press from the Rams ends up in a travel from Jabri Fitzpatrick. It'll be the Fordham Rams getting the ball back. Coach Magpio setting out a trap to try and get the ball back, and he does just that, Tucker.
Yeah, the Fordham defense so stifling, Chris, at times. And they did it again. For
the record, they weren't calling for an intentional foul earlier as Day Reed picks it up off the inbound under the basket and scores. Just saw it again there when they put up the X. That's their inbound play under the basket. They just called for it again there. Got a wide open look for Day Reeves. Now Fordham within 23-22. 2:14 to go in this first half. Pass on the left wing to George. Back up top. Straight on three. No good. Off back iron for Briggs. Henry now has it for Fordham going the other way. Christian Henry, the true point guard for this Fordham squad. Going left around to Bodija's screen. Now at the free throw line. Back out to Reeves. Inside on the right post. Double team on Bodija. Kicked out to Akor. Akor, quick pass to Henry. Henry floater off the drive. No good. Bodija there to clean it up under the glass. Fordham now with the lead. 24-23. 1:42 to go in the first half.
Yeah. Boy, it took a while for the Rams to get back in front, but they eventually found their way. Chris, I told you the defense would continue to be very, very solid for the Rams, as it has been for the entirety of this half, and it's allowed the Rams to get back out in front. They're holding opponents shooting just under 40% from the field. New Haven's doing a bit better than that so far.
And a weird development just happened there. Christian Henry fouling on purpose at midcourt and then shaking his head as he walked off the floor. He seems to not be right. He's now getting checked up on at the end of the bench by the trainer once again. We'll continue to monitor that story, but doesn't look great for him. Marcus Green now in there. He's guarding on the right wing, and a steal is made. Jabri Fitzpatrick tried to get it inside. It was poked away by Roricourt. Now Day Reeves has it right wing offensively for the Rams, trying to compound on their lead. Into Bodija. Bodija right block, cross-court pass, inside to Schulte. Schulte, great hands, great finish.
Schulte stays perfect from the floor in this one, 3 for 3, and he's already up to 8 rebounds, Chris.
And Schulte almost getting a poke away there, instead committing a foul on Pasha. That's in the front court off an outlet pass, and it'll stay inbounded under the basket by New Haven and the Chargers on the left side of the baseline.
6 points and 8 rebounds to start this one for Schulte after a perfect field goal shooting performance last time, and 5 double-doubles in his last 8 games, well on his way to a 6th in 9.
It's going to be a turnover off the inbound. New Haven having some trouble getting that one in, ends up trying to get it in deep on the deep part of the left wing, and that ends up being a turnover. Fordham now on an 8-0 run in the last 3 minutes. Fordham Rams also 4 for their last 5 from the field, continuing to get more efficient. Bodija up top to Rika Schulte. Dribble handoff to the running Marcus Green. Dribble handoff to the running Day Reeves. Reeves in the right corner. Roricourt, no hesitation, gets it to go. Roricourt catch and shoot, and the true freshman has Fordham out to a 6-point lead. 37 seconds left in the first half. Fitzpatrick up top. Pass on the right wing, Briggs. Back up top, Fitzpatrick. Into Pasha at the free throw line. Spinning. Pass back out. Falopa. Back to Pasha. Pasha's floater. No good in the lane. 20 seconds for the Rams on the first half clock. 29-23 lead. 13 seconds and counting. Day Reeves calling out a play deep on the right wing. Roricourt coming up to set a screen. He does. Day Reeves running left past Roricourt, and an intentional foul at midcourt. Day Reeves taking a shot after the foul, making it, and drawing the excitement of the crowd. It obviously won't count. A reach in on the floor.
That was really, really close, Chris. I don't know. It looked like he put his hands on him for the intentional foul, but he threw that thing up almost immediately after the foul was called.
I don't want to argue with you, Tucker, but I don't know. Abbas Bodija getting it on the right wing off the inbound. Just 6 seconds for the Rams to work there. They had to do it quickly, and a foul called almost immediately. It'll be a reach-in foul on Abbas Bodija, and the Rams going to inbound it once again. Foul called on Pasha.
It was a really clean game up until that point.
Yeah.
That was 2 fouls back-to-back for New Haven, and they're just now up to 5.
Only 5 fouls on the floor between the 10 players. Bodija deep on the left wing, intentionally fouled once again. Fordham struggling from the free throw line this season, and New Haven maybe taking their chances here at the end of the half. 6-point lead, as I said before, for the Rams. 3.5 on the game clock. Fordham got to work quickly off the inbound. Be Akira Jacobs inbounding this one on the sideline, directly next to us on our left.
See, that's shocking, Chris. New Haven spent the entire first half with 3 fouls to give.
Jacobs in the left corner. Bodija to Schulte, trying to wrap around under the basket. It's no good, and that's how the half will end. Fordham storming back at the end of the half and really helping themselves out from a momentum perspective. They have a 6-point lead going into the locker room, 29-23. Tucker, efficiency, arguably the biggest theme we talked about all game long. That theme got a lot better for the Rams at the end of the half.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. You mentioned that run. Fordham went on an 11-0 run in the last 4 minutes of that first half to walk away with a 6-point lead. 3 of their last 4 from the floor, and hitting their most recent 3-point attempt that they took with Roricourt. Chris, we had to wait the entire first half for Fordham to finally get one to fall from beyond the arc, but it did finally happen. And now this sets Fordham up for a really interesting start to the second half. This feels very similar to how the game went against Manhattan last time out. It's interesting with how long that it's been since that game for this game to feel so similar. But Fordham, again, played a pretty close game. They were down for a majority of the first half, now with a lead going into halftime, a little bit bigger than their lead that they had against the Jaspers. They have a chance to go up really, really big at the start of the second half, but it's going to take that efficiency that they had at the end of the first, plus continued lockdown defense against this New Haven team.
And Tucker, after that large swing you just talked about at the end of the first, Fordham now shooting more efficiently from the field than New Haven is. They're shooting 46% from the field now, 14 for 30. That number got a lot better as the half went on. Fordham Rams with a 6-point lead going into the half, 29-23 over the New Haven Chargers. We'll take a little break from the Rose Hill Gym at halftime. We're going to send it to the Rose Hill Gym for a halftime show with Maggie Danahy, who we've heard from a few times, and host Colin Banks. Take it away, guys.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Welcome into the half, Rams fans. I'm Colin Banks here with Maggie Danahy. As it stands, the Fordham Rams lead the New Haven Chargers by 6 after 20. Maggie, what are you seeing out there?
I think they definitely picked things up towards the end of that first half. They started off not up to their usual standards. What I noticed most of all is they're 1-9 from 3, which is 11%, which is problematic.
I mean, it was definitely a rocky start out there. They're not getting the line, not converting from 3, but I think their size is really showing. I mean, 24 points in the paint thus far to New Haven's 14. Guys like Rika Schulte are sort of dominating out there. 9 boards, 6 points, 100% from the field. I think they looked really good coming into the half. 11-0 run. What do you think needs to be improved, though?
I think players who tend to be our scorers, like Christian Henry, need to maybe get a little hot, kind of step it up a little bit. It kind of, in the beginning of that half, just seemed like a lack of energy, a lack of aggression, for lack of a better term. So to kind of try to build this lead, protect their home court and put in a statement before their few days off for Christmas.
Yeah, additionally, they're being very careful with the ball, which has been good. Forcing some turnovers as well. Aggressive on the glass. And DeJour Reeves, I think we need a highlight. He is playing very well right now.
Yeah.
Shooting 5 for 7 from the field, 71%. I mean, if Fordham can just get the threes falling, this seems like an easy win for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was the three-point shooting. There's been absolutely zero for either team attempts from the line. There's 0 free throws in this game, which is definitely very interesting. So hopefully they can start getting some calls, start getting the line, trying to, get some points there. But, I just think the biggest thing for me is that 3-point shooting. That needs to just be much higher.
And that's been a point of emphasis for this Fordham offense this year, trying to convert from the 3. And when you see things like this, you question, do you go back on the 3-point shooting? Because this is a smaller New Haven team they're playing, and they definitely have a size advantage, and it is shown. I mean, shooting 47% from the 3 while shooting 1 for 9 from 3 is, they've been effective at converting inside. So do you think they should just cater the offensive game plan around getting to guys like Rika Schulte inside? I
think at this point you probably have to. I think when you do that, that doesn't mean you need to kind of cut off that 3-point completely. But if it is going to be a 11% from 3 type of day, I think that you should probably go with what's working, especially because they do have that size advantage. So I mean, I think today that we should probably cater more towards being dominant inside the paint, but I don't think we should cut off that 3-ball entirely.
Just defense looked good coming into the half. It was pretty porous starting out the game. New Haven, I think, started well over 50% from the field. Forced some misses down the stretch there. kept them from converting on their threes, and kept them from the line. I think that's the biggest thing. Just as long as you limit fouls, you limit turnovers, I think you'll have a good chance of winning.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that towards the end of the first half, we definitely saw the team that we're used to seeing. It looked kind of out of place in the beginning there, like a little unprepared, I guess, for lack of a better term. But they definitely started to, get comfortable, sit in the game. Hopefully they can continue to build this lead and control the game in the second half against this newly promoted D1 opponent.
This Fordham team coming off two pretty dominant wins back to back, looking to extend that streak, and I think they can. I mean, they had an 11-0 run going into the half. I think they're finding their groove. It's early. It's only,
I agree.
This game started at 11 a.m. So I think it's just getting comfortable, getting loose, and they definitely seem to be doing that.
I think once they get going like they have been, hopefully they can keep up this momentum, because once they get going like this, they're going to be hard for this New Haven team to stop, especially with that size advantage that they have on them. They're just probably going to hopefully take over and dominate this second half, kind of how they were doing towards the end there.
Then, looking ahead briefly, Fordham faces Dayton on Wednesday. That is going to be, as it stands, the biggest test for this team thus far. And so I think here you definitely want a statement win, sort of a blowout win, just for confidence going into a big game like that.
Just to set going into conference play, you want to have a nice, it would be a 3-long win streak with pretty hopefully convincing wins. So, for confidence and morale, yes, but also just to kind of make a statement across the A10, like, Fordham is here to play this year. We have a good team. We're in a good place, and they could be threatening in the A10.
Definitely. A pretty treacherous stretch of A10 games coming. I mean, Dayton, Richmond, George Mason, St. Bonnie's, and St. Louis, back to back to back to back. I mean, it's going to be a tough road for Fordham, but I mean, if they keep looking like they have over their last two games, they have a shot against these teams.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the biggest story is that this is a whole new team, a whole new coach. This is the start of the Magpio era. I think across the A10, these next couple of weeks will definitely be this telling factor of where this team really stands in terms of where they are in the conference, and I'm excited to see them kind of take on that big test.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Evaluating this Fordham team as a whole, looking at their season, they're shooting 31% from three. As we said earlier, the threes have been an emphasis on offense, but they're not falling. Do you think there needs to be sort of, an overhaul of the offense, sort of looking to maybe more pace, maybe, getting in the paint more, using that size advantage? They're not shooting well from the line either this year, but, that's always something that you can turn around. And as long as you are getting to the line frequently, do you think they should emphasize just getting into the paint, using their big guys like Schulte to, run that offense, play with some pace instead of, emphasizing the three?
Yeah, definitely. I think they do have some size advantage on a lot of teams, and to play to that is definitely something that you're going to want to do, to just kind of have such a strong presence in the paint is something that you can't take for granted, and you need to tailor your game plan towards, I do think.
Yeah, and I mean, they have these strong lead guards as well. I mean, Christian Henry, DeJour Reeves, definitely players that can, push the pace. They're low turnover guys. Henry is averaging 6 assists a game this year. Both are shooting well from the three, but you look elsewhere, there's not much aid coming from beyond the arc. And so while you want those two guys shooting threes, I think you got to emphasize scoring in the paint more so throughout the year.
Absolutely.
And then, additionally, the defense, they haven't been forcing many turnovers in the half, but we're looking at 8 blocks or 7 blocks for this Fordham team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, New Haven has 10, but, that's something that looks good. I mean, blocking shots, obviously, you want to deter this smaller New Haven team from the rim. And then, on the offensive glass, they're out rebounding them 4-2. They've looked good there. I think mainly just keep getting to the paint, maybe look away from the 3 a little bit, and I think Fordham has this game under wraps.
I agree.
And then I think getting out on the break, this will be very important going forward in this game. Using your speed, your size, obviously, like we've been saying, is just going to be the main thing against New Haven. This is a team that is newly promoted. They are not used to this kind of competition athleticism. So you got to make them feel it, I think. And then, I mean, Fordham's looking good stretch of games, and I think they have this one under wraps. That'll be it for our halftime report here. I was Colin Banks with Megan Danahy. Fordham leading by 6. We'll take you into the second half.
What's up, everyone? I'm Brendan Shorey.
And I'm Joe Henry, your 2025 New York Jets beat reporters.
Follow along with us every Sunday as we cover and analyze all things JETS.
With a new quarterback at the helm, can Aaron Glenn right the ship and cause chaos in the AFC East?
Stay updated every week with game updates and recaps from @Brendan_Shorey
and @JoeHenry_4 on X.
WFUV, your home for Jets football.
Back here at the Rose Hill Gym, Fordham Rams ending that half strong with a 6-point lead now going into the locker room, 29-23, just a minute left on our halftime clock here. The big story heading into the second half, star true point guard for this Fordham roster, Christian Henry, out for the second half in a Nike Tech, beautiful maroon Nike Tech, I might add, on the bench. And he'll be out for the rest of this one. It'll be Marcus Green taking most of those backcourt duties. Tuck, a big change for Fordham. They want to continue just how efficient they were to end that half. They ended that half on an 11-0 run, 3 for 4 from the field. And they were 1 for 9 in their last 3, but made a 3 at the end of the half. That was big. They were 0 for 8 before that.
Yeah, it was a big 3 at the end of the half, but the three-point shooting was bad across the board for both of these teams in that first half. Fordham's defense really was the thing that kept them close enough to eventually take that lead before going into the break. Rikas Schulte is playing great today after an excellent performance against Manhattan. He's already got 9 rebounds, and he's got 3 steals so far in this game, so being a real pest in the passing lanes against this New Haven team.
Tuck, 9 rebounds and a half is ridiculous.
It is. It's
ridiculous.
And he's most of the way to another double-double, which he's been an absolute machine at that this year. Just getting more and more comfortable every single time he's out there on the floor for the Rams. But Day-Day Reeves really doing the usual, but he's definitely going to have to step up as well as Marcus Green now that we know that Christian Henry will not be an option in this second half for the Rams. Green still looking a little rusty after having missed the Manhattan game, but all it takes for him is one made basket to get back into his rhythm. And Abbas Bodija also playing an excellent game, picking up where he left off against Manhattan. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what Coach Magpio can put together now, missing Christian Henry, and of course still missing Pettis and Lesmond from the entirety of this game. It's going to be Rohr, Marcus Green, Day Reeves, Rika Schulta, and Akira Jacobs to start half number 2.
The only change there, obviously, Christian Henry taking a seat. The rest of the starting lineup the same from the first half. We'll also be monitoring Jack Whitbourne, see how much he plays in his second half of his first game here with the Rams. It'll be New Haven starting it off offensively in the second half. It's Fitzpatrick on the left wing, back out to Pasha. Pasha looking on that right wing. And now a driving George on the right wing through the right side of the lane. No good at the rim. A scrum under the basket for the rebound. That'll be Rams ball going the other way under the basket. So no score there on the first possession of the half. Still a 6-point lead for the Rams. 19:33 to go in this half. Day Reeves starting it off. Going to take a lot of the ball handling duties with Christian Henry out. Schulta at the free throw line. Now the right elbow. Backing his defender inside. Left-handed skyhook. No good. And New Haven gets it back. Chargers now have it. Fitzpatrick on the right wing. Pasha. Top of the arc. Pass on the left wing to George. Pasha in the right wing to Falopa, back up to Pasha, straight on three. No good from Pasha. First missed three for him, and Roricore on the rebound for Fordham.
And New Haven still unable to end that run that dates back to the first half now. Fordham still on an 11-0 run in 5 minutes of game time now.
Day Reeves, top of the arc, going right around a Jacob screen. Now on the right side of the lane, puts up a jumper, good from the mid-range. Stopping at the right elbow and hitting that one. Rams now out to an 8-point lead, 18:36 to go in the second half.
Day is so good from that spot. You just know, right when he jumps from the elbow or from that high post area, you just know it's going to go down.
George back out to Briggs, top of the arc. He'll take a three. It's good. The left-hander, Kenny Briggs, gets that one to go, and he gets New Haven back within 5.
That's big for New Haven to finally break that scoreless run of more than 5 minutes of game time, but Fordham still is going to try and look for an answer here.
Marcus Green wraparound pass, left corner, Roricore. Akor loses it. George steals it away. Briggs has it going the other way. He'll take a three. No good. He pulled up in transition from three. No good from the left-hander. Marcus Green now has a right wing. Pass in the right corner to Akor. Akor back to Green. To Jacobs. To Day Reeves. Reeves going right around to Jacobs' screen. It's poked away from behind. It was Briggs poking it away. What a few minutes he's had. Fitzpatrick pump faking out of the right wing. Now dribbling on Marcus Green. Trying to get it inside. Top of the arc to Pasha. Pasha trying to dribble hand off it, and it's going to be a reach-in foul. That one on Rika Schulta, his second of the afternoon.
Yeah, Schulta winced a little bit after that reach-in. He knew it was a little bit too much. Whitbourne looks like he's going to check back in as Schulta takes a seat. The second personal foul of the afternoon against Rika Schulta is the most on the Rams. But only 3 total against Fordham in this game so far, playing really clean basketball.
Yeah. No fouls on the floor for the Rams, and the 5 they got out there just subbing off Rika Schulta. A score on a layup on the other end for New Haven. They're back within 3 now, creeping closer and closer to the Rams. 31-28, 17 minutes to go in this second half. Akira Jacobs straight on. Pass on the right wing to Green. Green trying to get inside to Whitbourne. He does. Whitbourne has it. Right block. Backing down Pasha, gets a double team, kicks it out. Akira Jacobs from 3, gets it to go. Whitbourne absorbing the double team, kicking it out, and getting a wide open 3 from Akira Jacobs.
Big shot there for Akira Jacobs. Just his second take of the game, but first make. So pretty solid in terms of the percentage on just those 2 shots, but Akira is a volume shooter, so Fordham would like to see him get some more shots up.
Pasha tried to kick it out. It was poked away. Back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's 3, no good. That one tried to get tipped out. New Haven trying to bat that one back out to their teammates. Ends up going to Day Reeves, and it'll be a timeout on the floor. No, just a substitution on the floor. You're talking about Akira Jacobs being a volume scorer there right before that play. 50% from the field in his last 5 games. That's 30 shots as well, so it's a decent sample size. Akira Jacobs could shoot a little more for this Fordham team with how efficient he is.
Yeah, and earlier on in the season, he was almost a little bit nervous to put those shots up because he just wasn't hitting at as efficient of a clip. Now, though, with that efficiency, so comes the confidence.
Akira Jacobs gets it inside, right block. Whitbourne backing down his defender. Another double team, kicks it back out. This time to Marcus Green. Now Day Reeves has it. Top of the arc. Driving to the right side of the lane. Pulls up from mid-range. No good from 5 feet. Bodiger there on the offensive glass. He gets it poked away. Poked away by Briggs. Now New Haven coming the other way. Briggs, stop at top of the arc, going right around a screen, through the right side of the lane, stopping at the right block. Nice bounce pass inside. Pasha, no good on the floater, and Fordham gets it back offensively. Nice defense there from the Rams.
And there's just no chance under the basket when you've got a 6'11" center in Jack Whitbourne standing underneath the basket. New Haven can't get any rebounds on the offensive end with him there.
Whitbourne has it, right block, trying to work on Pasha, and he took too many steps. It's going to be a travel on Jack Whitbourne.
Whitbourne, yeah, he looks very shocked at that call.
Tucker, it happened right in front of us. I can't lie to you. I'm not very surprised. It seemed like he took a lot of steps there.
It was a bit of motion underneath. I think Whitbourne likely thought that he could get away with it with all the body contact up high. The referees not whistling the foul against him, but rather whistling the movement of those feet.
34-28, a 6-point lead for the Rams. 15-31 left in this one, in this Monday morning matchup on Kids Day from the Rose Hill Gym. We'll take a little break. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey, what's up? It's Owen Kelty, one of WFUV Sports' New York Knicks beat reporters. Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks look to dominate the East and bring a championship back to New York. Keep up all season long on my X account at Owen Kelty for all the highs and lows of New York Knicks basketball. WFUV Sports is your home for all things Knicks.
Welcome back to the Boogie Down Bronx here on 90.7 FM and WFUV Sports. Chris Carino, joined by my partner, Tucker Austin. We got a 6'7" fan cam going on here in the Rose Hill Gym. That feels like it's a little manufactured. You gotta wait for them to get to 6'7". Nonetheless, these kids don't care. They're going crazy around us. Fordham Rams up 34-28. And the 6'7" song's playing behind me. I can't not laugh. I think everyone in the gym who's an adult is laughing, and every kid in the gym who's a kid is doing the 6'7". Tucker, a fantastic environment all afternoon long for us right around the holiday season. The Fordham Rams still playing well, still keeping New Haven at bay after that really fiery end to the first half.
Christmas is Thursday, but I can feel all of the joy and the season's greetings in this building right now.
A lot of merriness, a lot of jolly.
There's a lot of jolly energy happening right now in this building, and I could not be happier about it. I'm beaming. This is a great environment right now. So cool that they got all of these kids that just out of class today on a random Monday. Come watch some Fordham basketball at one of the oldest, if not the oldest, college basketball gym in the country.
One of, if not our most packed game of the season as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I can barely hear myself think right now. But I think you got to sort of put yourself in the shoes of these players now with this kind of an environment. I'm sure they're having just as much of a hard time as we are hearing themselves think.
Chuck, I wonder if they realized they weren't going to get to 6'7" because of how low scoring the game is, and so they said, we'll have a 6'7" cam just in case.
That's what I was about to say, Chris, because Fordham's at just 34 points despite having played 25 minutes already in this game, so they would need a pretty big scoring outburst to get up to that number late in this game, but I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. We got to remember, Chris, this is a top 200 KenPom team in the Fordham Rams that should really be extending this lead against a UNH team that it's their first season in Division I, so Fordham should absolutely have every advantage in this second half and should be able to start pulling away here.
As you said in the first half, New Haven, no stranger to big talent or big opponents this season, playing at UConn to open their D1 resume. It's a heck of a place to start. A three from the top of the arc. It's going to be a foul off the ball, an offensive foul, and the Rams are going to get it back. Ironically, one of the best things that's happened to the Rams this afternoon that hasn't gotten a pop from the crowd. We got to teach all these kids what an offensive foul is, I think, Tucker.
I know. They might need to learn a thing or two, Chris, because like earlier they went nuts when Day knocked down the crazy half-court shot after
you
a
did
foul
too, to be fair.
Well,
let's all be fair.
I think the fans sold it a little bit for me.
You were talking about how close it was and all that as well. Let's all be real. Jack Whitbourne has it on the left baseline. Fordham Rams offense working, spinning toward the baseline, finishing with the right hand at the rim. Jamison O'Toole, Max Miller, and Aiden Crotty pumped up for their buddy on the bench.
And big aggression that time from Whitbourne. So much energy under the basket, screaming towards that baseline section of fans after making that layup.
Whitbourne must feel relieved after that one. His first points with the Fordham Rams after missing over a month of this season. Fitzpatrick, nice step through at the right elbow, gets to the basket and gets it to go. Fitzpatrick, nifty work getting New Haven back within 6, 36-30, 14 minutes left to go in this first half.
Oddly enough, just the second make of the day for Fitzpatrick. He only has 4 points, but he's leading this team with 13 points per game. So it's really been interesting to see Fordham defensively lock down the top scorer for the Chargers.
Shoots 40% on the year from the field. Bodija, long steps into the lane, doesn't get the floater to go. Now New Haven has it the other way, trying to shorten the lead even further. That free throw, pull up mid-range, no good from Adelaide, but he gets the offensive rebound. Fitzpatrick now has it. Pump fake, back out, Pasha left wing three. No good, missing the whole rim together, and Bowditch is there on the defensive glass. Fordham now has it again.
Boy, Fordham really lucked out. Adelaide had a wide open look at the free throw line. In a 5-on-4 situation, Akira Jacobs was stuck on the other end of the floor for the Rams, but no basket on that attempt for the Chargers.
Rams chance break out as they're on offense. Whitbourne out of the left block, floater in the middle of the lane, doesn't get it to go, picks up his own miss, doesn't get that one to go, but he'll go to the line for two. Jack Whitbourne, as we've talked about, out of action to start the year, but the one thing he's done in practice over the last month or so is take free throws. That's where he's going. That's where he's going now. We'll see if that extra practice helped him out at all. It's a different sort of style of play, Tucker, when a big man is really confident at the free throw line. It changes your game completely.
Oh, absolutely, Chris. I mean, the player who comes to mind for me is Mitchell Robinson for the New York Knicks. Whitbourne knocks down the first of two. Mitchell Robinson is not a good free throw shooter, Chris, to say it very plainly, but he is a huge center for the Knicks and makes great plays on the defensive and the offensive glass. But when he gets fouled, and especially late in games when it's time to sort of send the other team to the line, try to work back into a game, you always send Mitchell Robinson. But when you have a guy who can shoot the free throw like Whitbourne can, you kind of take that element of the game away. And he actually becomes more of a danger because he's more likely to draw that contact underneath and send himself to the line for more points. Making 2 of 2, Jack Whitbourne.
Not only 2 for 2, Tucker, neither of them touched the rim. All net for Jack Whitbourne on both his free throws. Also, because you did it, I have to do it. Nick Claxton's game has completely changed this year. Now he can make free throws. Nonetheless, Briggs, top of the arc for the New Haven offense. Out to Fitzpatrick, pump fake. Kingston Price is now on the ground trying to go over a mad scrum with the ball. New Haven gets it back after a loose ball. Briggs now has it right wing. Back up top to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick to Pasha, left elbow, facing up Whitbourne. Back out Fitzpatrick, pump fake, driving inside, puts up a floater, not in time. Shot clock violation for the Chargers. What a defensive effort from the Fordham Rams.
Tell you what, Chris, this game is moving very, very similar to how that Manhattan game did. And we already mentioned the similarities between those two games, but it's really looking like that now. Fordham coming out of the half with that real defensive grit and not letting UNH get really anything going. For the Rams, it's been 9 points since the start of the second half. For New Haven, it has been 7, but Fordham definitely looking dominant out there against the Chargers.
Price gets it to Day Reeves, left wing. Reeves going right around a Schultz screen to Price, right corner. No good. Place was about to explode, didn't get that shot to go. Cross-court pass was nice. He was wide open. Day Reeves has it now. Second chance for the Rams. Going left around a Schultz screen. Cross-court to Jacobs. Once again, that three, no good off front rim. A foul under the basket. It's going to be on New Haven, and that's going to be, I believe, on number 21. That's going to be Zumana Traore, the Harlem native, the freshman Harlem native, not playing too far from his hometown, picking up the foul there. Inbound under the basket for the Rams. Day Reeves on the left side of the baseline.
4 fouls now in the second half for New Haven rather.
First time you've done it, Tuck.
Yeah.
Quick pass inside to Schulte. Schulte loses the ball. Day Reeves has it out to Bodija. Now Day Reeves has it deep on the left wing, controlling. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Now moving right. Ball poked away. Briggs diving on the ground. Both teams on the ground. It was Reeves and Briggs giving their best effort and really showing their effort to their team. It's going to be a jump ball favoring the Fordham Rams, and that'll be a 30-second timeout. Or actually a media timeout. It'll be a full timeout. Tucker, Fordham continuing to keep New Haven at bay, even though it doesn't necessarily feel like they're outplaying them.
Yeah, not quite. However, I would say Fordham's outplaying them just a little bit in this second half. Maybe not as much as they would like to, but obviously they've still extended their lead by 2 points compared to the end of the first half. But I still think that there's a lot to be unlocked offensively for this Rams team, and they are liable to explode at any given time. The shots just need to fall.
Rams with an 8-point lead, right under 12 minutes to go in this second half. We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios for another scoreboard update with Maggie Danahy. Take it away, Maggie.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Heading over to some men's college basketball. Last night in the Big East, number 5 UConn beat DePaul 72-54, extending their record to 12-1 overall and 2-0 in conference play. The number 7 ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs beat the Oregon Ducks 91-82. In Greensboro, North Carolina, the North Carolina State Wolfpack beat the Ole Miss Rebels 76-62. Later today at 8 p.m., number 17 Kansas takes on Davidson College. Sending it back to Chris and Tucker for more second half action, I'm Maggie Danahy with your scoreboard update.
Back live from Kids Day here at the Rose Hill Gym on the beautiful campus of Fordham University. Chris Carino, joined by my partner, Tucker Austin. Just under 12 minutes left to go in this matchup. Fordham leading 38-30 over the New Haven Chargers, the newly D1 New Haven Chargers. New Haven playing their first ever matchup against the Fordham Rams this afternoon. As I said in the intro for this one, a little different than Fordham's last opponent, Manhattan, their rival, who they've played, Tucker, 117 times. Haven't played since December 10th either. New Haven coming off a massive break, and maybe some of that rust showing here as we go down the stretch.
Yeah, I think both teams are kind of showing that aspect of their game a little bit, Chris. Just looking a little bit sluggish to start that first half, but now here in the second half, it's been a lot more high energy, a lot of bodies flying around. Just on the last play before that break that we had, it was a jump ball with bodies on the floor all over the place, but Chris, I think this game is extra important for the Fordham Rams because of that break before this game. It's a 9-day gap since the Manhattan win, but there's also another 9-day hiatus after this game until New Year's Eve when they open A-10 play against Dayton. So a really important kind of random game in the end of December here, but you would love to have this one show a W rather than an L with so much space on either side.
Fordham turns it over on the inbound. Pasha defending the inbound and poked it away. Poked it away on the pass, and now New Haven has it offensively. It's Anthony playing it to Briggs. Left corner, step back three. No good, rimming in and out. Day Reeves has it offensively for the Rams now, going the other way. Day Reeves going left around a Bodige's screen. Driving inside from the right lane to the left lane. No good at the rim, and a defensive rebound brought down by Pasha. New Haven now going quick the other way. Briggs tried to kick it out to Traore on the left wing. Him and Traore not on the same page. It'll be a turnover, and Fordham gets it back.
No, New Haven as a whole squad seems to be not on the same page right now, Chris, because in the last 3 minutes, 7 seconds of game time, New Haven's found themselves in another scoring drought. You just can't go for this long stretches in a game, especially at the end of the first half and now here in the first half of the second half. New Haven has found themselves deep in a hole just because they can't find the bottom of the basket. Fordham's defense, excellent.
Not a score in this game in the last 2 minutes from both teams. Fordham 2 minutes scoreless, and this New Haven team 3 minutes scoreless. 5 minutes scoreless combined between these two squads. Schulte driving through the left side of the lane, takes a layup at the left block. It'll be a foul, no good on the shot. Enrique Schulte will go to the line for two.
And I mentioned earlier in this game, Chris, Fordham is holding opponents' field goal percentage to under 40% so far this year, sitting at just around 39%. Now in the game, New Haven's field goal percentage is down to 37%. It's just a 27.3% clip from the floor in this second half so far. Fordham's defense doing great. Rika Schulte knocks down the first of two to make it 39-30. And the big German has a chance to put Fordham up by 10 here now, which would be the first double-digit lead of the game for either side.
The big German is really impressed, Huck. I mean, we've heard a lot about this guy as he misses the second free throw. Roracora there on the second chance for the Rams. Out to Kingston Price. That three is good. Kingston Price, the ultimate opportunist on the three, and he's got Fordham out to a 12-point lead. New Haven Chargers and Coach Mo Dowling need to talk it over. Rams in the double-digit lead and have no signs of turning back.
Chris, I told you that's all it takes. Just one going down, and Fordham might have themselves heating up a little bit here. Now up by 12 with a chance to gap New Haven even more. The Chargers just completely lost in the first 9 minutes of this second half. Fordham playing excellent defense and finding shots from guys who maybe don't usually score as often. Roracora had a pretty rough game shooting the basketball last time out, has 6 points in this one so far. Akira Jacobs finally knocked a shot down. Schulte has 6. What's so incredible this game, Chris, is that Fordham is really spreading the scoring around to everybody.
Yeah.
In the last few games, it's really been 4 players up top scoring double digits and the rest of the team contributing maybe a bucket or two. But today, they've got they have 5 players with at least 2 baskets made and points from everybody except for Marcus Green so far, who has played in this game. It's a really, really good team effort so far from the Rams, and it's going to take a team effort to bring this one to the finish line. Still plenty of game left for UNH to figure some things out.
And Day Reeves, always in the conversation in most Fordham games. Might go underlooked today. He's played almost the entire way in this one, playing 25 minutes. That leads the Fordham Rams. He is 12 points, 6 for 10 from the field. An efficient outing offensively. Day Reeves, as you said it before, the guy for this team they go to when they need a basket. And just as usual, he's been good today.
Absolutely, Chris.
Kingston Price making that three as well earlier. Talked about him in an expanded role as well.
The three right here from Price was absolutely incredible. It really got the building on their feet as well, which is, Fordham, it doesn't take much to get these kids activated and loud, but you'll take highlight plays all day. That dunk from Rika Schulte early in the first half got him going. That three really brought the house down. But still 11 minutes left in this game. I already said it. There is time left for the Chargers to figure some things out. But, Chris, it should be mentioned, Fordham now up to 42 points with 11 minutes left to play in this game. That last little run put 67 back on the watch list, I think.
They're in 6-7 territory is what you're saying. Fordham Rams with a 12-point lead, continuing to assert their dominance, 42-30, 11 minutes to go in this second half. Both teams coming out of the timeout. It'll be Abbas Bodija, it'll be Rika Schulte along with Roracora, Kingston Price, and Day Reeves.
Bodija having a much quieter game this time around than last time out, but I should say, despite how quiet it's been, Bodija's been playing a really, really effective role for the Rams underneath.
And Rika Schulte, something on his left sleeve. It looks like he's been playing Jalen Brunson.
No, surely.
Not Jalen Brown.
No.
There's some sort of mark I had to, for the real ball knowers out there, you know what I'm talking about.
He's not facing us right now, Chris, but I gotta see this.
Yeah, you gotta give it a gander. He's in fantastic skeleton Kobe Yates. His teammate Kingston Price, who just made the three, also in Kobe Yates, the Kobe 8, one of the most famous and pivotal models of the Nike basketball line. It's now on the left wing, no good on the mid-ranger from George. Got his own rebound. Back out, Kingston Price intercepts it. Kingston going the other way and finishes with a layup. Kingston Price doing it on one end and letting it translate to the other. Can barely hear myself think, Tucker.
Dare I say, Chris, this might be the Kingston Price game.
It might be. On the right wing, working it around. It's now Fitzpatrick, top of the arc with it. Fitzpatrick on the left wing to George, back up top. Back to Fitzpatrick. Now Pasha has it. Left elbow. Takes the spot-up jumper. No good. Rattling around the rim and rimming out. Day-Day Reeves now has it offensively for the Rams. Going the other way for Fordham.
It's another run by the Fordham Rams. 8-0 in the last 4 minutes of game time.
Day-Day Reeves, wonderful behind-the-back pass. Ends up going inerrant off a New Haven player. New Haven now has it offensively. Fitzpatrick on the right wing, working on Price. Driving left through the middle of the lane, stopping and turning around. Pass to Pasha on the baseline. Wrap-around pass. Corner three, Falapa, no good. And Kingston Price is on the rebound. Price having a really productive couple minutes here. Now Bodija out of the left wing, dribble handoff to Roricourt. Roricourt back to Price. Price gets it into the block. Bodija in the left post, backing down his defender. Spinning baseline, no good at the rim, but he'll take the free throws. Go to the line 4-2, the UCR transfer. A redshirt freshman having about as positively surprising season as you can have.
No, he really does not show his age at all, Chris. No. I mean, he's a redshirt freshman.
Also wearing Kobe 8s. 3 guys on the floor for the Rams wearing Kobe 8s. Go on, my mistake.
Yeah, no, he's a redshirt freshman, so he does have a little bit of experience playing college basketball, but, I mean, he is still a freshman in essence out of Brisbane, Australia. But standing at 6'10", he's got a really large frame and plenty of length. Sometimes early in the season it seemed like he didn't quite understand how large he was, but now definitely coming into his own on this Rams team and using his length and his size to his advantage.
He's got like Jason Tatum's shoulders. Like, you know how Jason Tatum's shoulders just wide?
Yeah, it's interesting, yeah. I would agree, actually.
He just built like a football player. Free throw, good.
And that wingspan is unbelievable, too.
It's huge. 15-point lead for the Rams, 45-30, 9:19 to go in the second half. Fitzpatrick driving inside, takes the mid-ranger just inside of the free throw line, and it goes. Timeout almost immediately taken by New Haven. New Haven trying to manufacture some momentum here down the stretch. 9:13 to go in the second half, 45-32. Fordham Rams lead. We'll take a little break during the timeout. It's a 30-second. We'll actually stay here, Tucker. We'll stay in the Rose Hill Gym. The Fordham Rams continuing to keep that jab, to establish that jab. There's still 13 points of separation between them and New Haven, but as we've said all game, the gap doesn't feel as far as the scoreboard is.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. It definitely seems like the Rams should have a larger lead in this one. I think we can trace that back to the first half where Fordham basically spent the majority of that half missing three-pointers until the last 30 seconds or so when they did finally hit from three. They started 0 for 8, and that's what allowed New Haven to get a lead at first, which was as large as 6 points, but now Fordham well in front. The three-point shooting not as much of a factor anymore, although Fordham has pulled to within 1 of New Haven's. 4 for 17 for the Chargers, 3 of 13 from 3 for the Rams. But really, it's the paint dominance and the defensive performance from the Rams holding New Haven to a low shooting percentage in the second half that has allowed the gap to increase.
Day-Day Reeves working out of the right wing. Rikus Schulte right here on the right wing three. It's taken and it's hit. Rikus Schulte hits the three. Akira Jacobs and the rest of the bench jumped up like they had fire under their butts. They were excited for their teammate. And that was as unexpected as it gets. Why is that?
I don't know why, Chris. 0 for 5 to start the season from beyond the arc with Schulte. That's his first made three as a Fordham Ram.
He's now made a Fordham three, or he's now made a three in maroon. As a score there on the offensive end for New Haven gets them back within 14, 48-34, 8:25 to go in the second half. Bodija working in the pick and roll and scoring on a couple hop steps and a floater. Jamison O'Toole and Akira Jacobs gobsmacked on the bench, and I have to be with them. That was ridiculous.
Chris, when have you seen a freshman do something like that? That's what I'm talking about.
When was the last time you heard me use the word gobsmacked? My goodness.
That's what I'm talking about, though, when he doesn't show his age. He's a redshirt freshman making veteran moves in the paint.
How about the 6'10 guy working as the guard in the pick and roll? Pass now in the left corner. Briggs going really hard into Rikus Schulte. It'll be a blocking foul on the baseline. And a timeout directly preceding that as well. Fordham Rams with a lot of momentum, and I mean a lot of momentum. 7:53 to go in this second half. 50-34, Rams lead over the New Haven Chargers. And Tucker, yeah, what you got to say?
I'm actually being told that Rikus Schulte had never made a three-pointer in his career before that shot. So first made three in his college career for Rikus Schulte. So special that it happened as a Fordham Ram and in this building.
Especially with the campaign he's having so far. To add that to the resume, it must be special. Rikus Schulte doing it all for the Fordham Rams. Fordham Rams lead 50-34, 7:53 to go in the second half. We'll be right back with Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports and 90.7 FM.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace McCarran and I'm one of your 2025-26 New York Islanders beat reporters for WFUV Sports. Follow me on X at @GraceMcCarran_ for live game updates, features, and other inside content from the island all season long. From the development of first overall pick Matthew Schaefer to incredible saves by Ilya Sorokin, WFUV Sports has you covered every step of the way as the Isles look towards the postseason. WFUV is your home for New York sports.
50-34 to go, or 50-34 Rams lead, 7:53 to go in this second half. The Rams with a really strong last couple minutes of the first half and second half. It's been a complete domination of New Haven down the stretch here so far, especially from an offensive efficiency point of view. Fordham getting it done on the defensive end, and then efficiently Tucker getting it done on the offensive end.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Efficiency on the offensive end is one thing, absolutely, but I think you got to chalk this one up to the defense so far in this second half, Chris. They played excellent in the second half, did the Rams against Manhattan, and completely stifled their offensive attack in the second 20 minutes. Here today, middle of the day, it's the same situation for this Rams team, really stifling the Chargers in every possible way on the offensive end. Meanwhile, Fordham is still putting together some things offensively, not firing on all cylinders necessarily, but still getting some pretty big highlight moments between the Kingston Price three. That was big. Rikus Schulte's first three of the season, and as a Ram, also a huge moment in this one as well. Fordham in front by a big 16-point cushion and looking to make it more.
As you said, 16-point cushion, left wing three. No good off back iron by George. Defensive rebound brought down by Fordham. And as our El Jefe, our boss, told us, our lovely listener, Joe Henry, we're back on 6-7 watch here. 50-34, 7:40 to go in the second half. Would love to get a 6-7, Tuck. Day-Day Reeves driving through the lane off the pick and roll and scoring with a double clutch at the rim with his left hand. Day-Day Reeves showing his quality on that play.
I mean, you've heard all the kids in attendance all game, basically. Just imagine what that moment could do.
Briggs, back top of the key to Fitzpatrick. On the left wing now, Falopa, back up top to Fitzpatrick. Trying to get it inside to their big man, Pasha. Gets it to Pasha. Pasha's floater, no good from the free throw line. It's Whitbourne there on the rebound.
You know, to be honest, Chris, I'm actually happy I have this Santa hat on because it's almost acting as like extra ear protection in case Fordham does get to that magic number.
Whitbourne having a good game in his return. 4 points, 3 rebounds so far. Day-Day Reeves straight on three. It's good! Day-Day Reeves from way downtown gets that one to go. And the Fordham Rams now into their biggest lead of the afternoon. 55-34, 6:37 to go in the second half. What a second half performance from the Fordham Rams.
Have a Day-Day. Day-Day, man,
like
17
that.
points.
Like that.
8 for 12 from the floor and 1 of 2 from 3.
How did I not think of that? It's like a good
up.
Beatles song. It's like, how did I not think of that? Nonetheless, Briggs out of the left wing, drives inside, another floater in the middle of the lane, another miss for New Haven. Briggs gets his own rebound, now has it on the right wing. Going left around a screen, picked up by the much bigger Whitbourne. Left to right crossover, mid-range jumper doesn't go, and Day-Day Reeves jumping high in the air to pick that one off.
He's doing such a great job now in the absence of Christian Henry. Those two guys are an excellent guard duo for this Rams team, but when one of them has to come out of the game, the other one usually shines a little bit brighter, and Day-Day Reeves doing just that in this second half.
Marcus Green working for the Fordham offense now. Whitbourne has it, top of the key. Kira Jacobs gets it inside. Abbas Bodija on the left block, working on his defender, picks up a double team and passes it beautifully inside to Jack Whitbourne. What a play inside to Whitbourne. Now has 6 points in his debut.
5.5 minutes, Chris. 10 points to go.
That's doable.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous, Chris.
Seems like kids might be sticking around as well. It seems like the kids around us are starting to sense it, as are we. 57-34, 23-point lead for the Rams. 5:15 to go in the second half. Fitzpatrick, top of the arc, inside to Pasha. Pasha faking up Whitbourne. Nice pass backdoor to Fitzpatrick, who finishes with the right hand at the rim. Nice play there offensively from the Chargers.
Yeah, and Fitzpatrick now into double digits to lead his team in scoring. Can't forget about the performance that New Haven has attempted to put out here against the Fordham Rams. Again, they've been playing some really, really stiff competition so far in non-conference play. They're heading into an NEC that's really, compared to their non-conference play, their conference, the NEC, is relatively weak for New Haven. So the way that they've been playing against teams like your Seton Halls, like your Penn States, like your UConns, like now Fordham, really they should be well set up to go into conference play and have a strong season their first year in Division I.
And Tuck, 4 minutes left in this one, 36 points. It seems like offense, obviously a problem for this team. They shoot just 25% from three against D1 competition coming into this one. That's a three taken and missed, proving the point I'm making.
Yeah, but it should be said, though, that they're shooting against D1 teams. Yes, from three it's a little rough, but I think you also have to chalk up this specific
let
performance.
me finish, Tuck.
Yeah.
25% against D1 competition, the second lowest in the country. They're 362nd in that stat.
Yeah, but Chris, I really think the Fordham defense here today is a large reason of why they haven't been able to get too much scoring going.
Cross-court pass, another Schultz three, no good, offside rim. But yeah, it would have been big for the without the added context of their competition they've played, that stat looks a whole lot worse.
Yes, absolutely.
Just under 4 minutes left in this one, 57-36 lead for the Rams. Each class filtering out of here, trying not to get all the kids out of here at one time. I think they're doing it gradually here. Day Reeves fakes right around the screen, goes left, passing the left corner to Akira Jacobs, no good on the three. That's going to be Jack Whitbourne fighting for it on the offensive glass, but not getting it. It's going to be a timeout on the floor. It's going to be a media timeout. Media timeout. Both teams going to take a break. Fordham going into the break with a 21-point lead, 57-36, 3:37 to go in the second half. I'm going to send it back to the Rose Hill studio for one more update with Maggie Danahy. Take it away, Maggie.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Getting into what's going on around the A10, the George Washington Revolutionaries are currently up 50-13 on St. Mary's. Yesterday in Virginia, the George Mason Patriots beat the Loyola Maryland Greyhounds 86-79. Later tonight, Duquesne takes on Canisius in Pittsburgh. At 7 p.m., the VCU Rams will take on the Rider Broncs in Richmond. And finally, yesterday afternoon, your Fordham Ram women's basketball defeated the St. Francis Red Flash 86-61. Alexis Black led all scorers with 25 points. That's all for now with your scoreboard updates. I've been Maggie Danahy.
Chris Carino joined by Tucker Austin here at the Rose Hill Gym. The Fordham Rams with a really impressive performance before heading into A10 play. Their A10 play starts on New Year's Eve as they travel up to Dayton to play on the road. For now, the Fordham Rams this afternoon have been fantastic. 57-36, a 21-point lead with 3:37 left to go against the New Haven Chargers. As I just said that, Tucker, 10 more points in 4 minutes, and we could possibly have a very loud gym. The road to 6-7.
Yeah, the road to 6-7 indeed, Chris. And it's going to be interesting, though, with Fordham an even number of points away. You're going to need some sort of series of two-pointers and probably at least 1-3 tucked in there somewhere to try and get to this number. If they get stuck just 1 point away, UNH, I imagine New Haven is not going to be one to foul Fordham and send them to the line with a chance to score that exact number.
It would be funny to think if Coach Magpie is genuinely thinking about this.
I'm sure he has to be. I mean, you're the one who asked him about it before the game.
I know, but I was being silly. There's no way on the bench right now with the papers in front of him that he's holding in his left hand that one of those says, make sure to get to 6-7. And if it is, I like him already more than I already do, which I like him a lot.
I tell you what, Chris, it's a 21-point game, and Fordham is trying to just carry this one to the finish. It definitely seems like the Rams are in control and going to get the win here today. But I got to say, in a 20-point game, I have never been this nervous for the Fordham Rams. They have a job to do here in the final 3.5 minutes for all the kids here in attendance on Kids Day.
It's going to be out of the left wing. Fitzpatrick plays it to Traore, back to Fitzpatrick, back to Traore. He'll take a straight-on three and hit. Nothing but net for Traore. Zumana Traore, and the Harlem freshman has a three.
That was a really smooth-looking shot, Chris. Yeah. Very slow on the release, but very collected. Clearly practiced.
Even in a 20-point game, all these kids still locked in on the game. I wonder why. Marcus Green, left wing three, no good. An air ball. Didn't really even reach the net. That's going to be out of bounds toward New Haven. 3 minutes left in this one. 57-39 lead for the Rams.
Chris, I believe Chaz McAdams would call that one a certified chuck.
I think
Marcus
Chaz
Green
McAdams
threw that
might
ball
be
up.
Listening. Shout out to FUV legend Chaz McAdams. We miss you. Traore out of the top of the key. Now on the left wing. Fitzpatrick. Just trying to get it inside. Ball movement good for New Haven. Got a wide open three on the left wing. No good for Anthony on that wide open three. And now Fordham has it offensively. 57-39, 2:32 to go in this second half. Fordham's 67 hopes waning away. Day Reeves. Dribble handoff, has it top of the arc. Goes left around a Schulte screen. Back out Marcus Green. Green back to Day Reeves. Reeves going left around a screen, trying to get past Anthony. Stops at the free throw line, takes a jumper, and hits. Day Reeves gets it to go and gets Fordham back out to a 20-point lead. 59-39, 2 minutes left to go.
Don't let Day get to that spot because he's going to make you pay every single time he hits another one from the elbow and inches Fordham a little bit closer.
It's going to be on the right wing, inside to Pasha, stolen away by Rika Schulte. And Schulte gave it right back. Tried to pass it to Day Reeves, who was intercepted. Traore falls on the baseline. It'll be a foul. That one going on Rika Schulte. I mean, Jack Whitbourne and Kingston Price subbing into this one.
Boy, tough moment there for Rika Schulte. His fourth steal of the game, but then he just barely couldn't get that ball high enough over the reach of the defender.
You hear forward 4 steals in a game, you'd say that has to be a career high. It isn't. He had 5 steals in a game just a couple games ago. Rika Schulte, for a forward, has been very good at stealing the ball this season.
Although interesting here as Whitbourne checks in to replace Schulte, who has 9 points, but I don't know if we're going to see Schulte in this game again. Just 1 point off of his triple-double with 13 boards.
Wow. Triple-double?
Or, sorry, double-double, rather, because he's been a double-double machine.
How many blocks does he have?
If he wound up with it, that would be insane.
And Jamison O'Toole, speaking of Chaz McAdams, subbing into this one, has a very large contingency of fans behind us. I think they have some family traveling down. The McAdams family has been known to be large and loud, and they are here this afternoon. Anthony working out of the right wing. Now, top of the arc. New Haven playing it in the left corner. Traore driving in, passing it back door, trying to dunk it. Didn't get the dunk, but got the shot to go, plus the foul. Tayshawn Steele, the freshman from Worcester, Massachusetts. And he gets New Haven back within 18 now. They're back inside 20 points, 1:31 to go in this second half. Just wanted to let you know, stick around after the final buzzer for this one. Troy Hamill, assistant coach of the Fordham Rams, joining us for a little post-game interview. Stick around for that one. Timeout on the floor after the first made free throw, or the made free throw to make it a 3-point play for New Haven.
The Rams are putting the finishing touches on this one. Only a handful of possessions, really not even actually. It's more like 3, maybe 4 possessions left for either side left in this game. So the Rams likely not going to get to that magic number 67, but I'm sure the young fans in attendance today are going to be very happy with the performance that the Rams put on for Kids Day today. And a win in a game that's sort of out there in the schedule. You know, it kind of stands out if you were to look at a calendar. 9 days of no games before this, 9 days no games after this. Good Lord. But the Rams going to get a nice win in their home gym today with a big crowd in attendance.
And as you said just there's so much time to think in between before this game, after this game, going into A-10s to win this one, and win this one with a sort of confidence about you. That's very, very important.
Absolutely. And to have such a struggle in the start of the first half and actually be down for a majority of the first half against a team that was in D2 last year, it sort of looked like a couple of the worst losses this year for this Fordham Ram team, but now the second half response, the resiliency that this team has become known for this season, showing its head again, and really it's going to be not necessarily a statement, but certainly a good springing off point heading into conference play at the new year.
And that's going to be another timeout as the Fordham Rams had it offensively. It's going to be Aiden Crotty and Max Miller, the other walk-ons for the Fordham Rams, subbing in. Coach Magpio wanting to get them some time. 1:20 on the game clock, 59-42. Fordham Rams lead. We'll stay here on the 32nd timeout. I wanted to talk about it before. Talking about the Fordham Rams being happy with their performance today, even with New Haven understanding the competition ahead of them, Coach Hodeling can't be happy with how their team shot the ball. Just 36% from the field today, 18 for 50, taking 50 shots, not even making 20. That is not good. And from the three-point line, 5 for 21. That's worse than the Fordham Rams tonight, and the Fordham Rams were really poor from three.
Well, they were poor to start, Chris, but they've definitely improved on that efficiency,
They're still
especially
under 30%.
in the second half. They are under 30%, but these are the struggles that Fordham has had from three for a majority of this season, as a couple of bench guys check in for the Rams, and Whitbourne goes to the rim.
Whitbourne driving inside, looked like he was about to dunk that one from the free throw line, instead laid it up very smoothly. Three there from the right corner quickly from Steele. Steele getting the scoring going here in the latter stages. Didn't have any scoring prior to that.
Dude, Tashawn Steele is really setting the tone for himself a little bit here, getting some minutes in what's effectively garbage time, but really making a big impact. I almost think the head coach for New Haven would have wanted him in earlier in this game.
Whitbourne with the ball above his head on the right wing, and then a beautiful backdoor pass to Kingston Price, who finished it. Whitbourne showing some playmaking at his 7-foot size. It's now some walk-ons trying to fight for a defensive rebound. Ends up being just a little too much. Traore overpowering them in score. Actually, Berth overpowering them in scoring.
This has been a really interesting last minute and a half of play here, Chris, because after the benches checked in, New Haven has looked a lot better. I mean, yeah, of course, because the defense isn't as difficult to play against. The defense that the Rams are putting out isn't near what the kind of quality defense that they had for the first part of this game, for the majority of this game. But still, the execution is there for New Haven much more than it was in the first half of this game.
Fordham Rams with a decisive 63-47 lead, 40.6 on the game clock. Jamison O'Toole actually fouled there, and he'll go to the line for two. O'Toole with a chance in front of some family to score some points here.
I don't know about you, Chris, but I'm looking at this score, and I'm looking at the time left.
My
in
heart
this game.
sank as I just looked up at the scoreboard. I can't lie to you.
And it's getting a little interesting.
Making the first, now 64 on the clock.
Chris, there are kids who left who are coming back into the arena right now. This could be an interesting situation.
This can't be good. O'Toole makes
both.
the second as well. Now 2 points away from 6-7 for the Rams. 65-47, 36 seconds left on the clock. Will the Rams shoot it with no shot clock to get 6-7? That's the question. New Haven, no good on their jumper, and the Fordham Rams have 26 seconds on the clock.
All they need is a two, Chris.
I think they're going to dribble it out. They will. Coach Magpio tells his team to dribble it out. Rika Schulte and a few other guys on the bench having a good time, laughing about this one, telling their team, joking about their team going to get to 6-7.
Yeah, look at the smile on Kingston Price's face right now. That is golden. He just smirked at his bench because he knows that he's dribbling this ball out. There's one thing today that the kids in attendance are going to be disappointed about, and it's going to be that the Rams didn't get to 67, but they put in
But Tucker, not the Rams play. Not the Rams play at all. Rams were fantastic today, especially in that last 3 to 4 minutes of the first half, and basically, Tucker, that entire second half.
That is an unbelievable performance from the Rams in that second half as well. It's so good to see this team respond to that adversity from the first half, because it's going to come in A-10 play heavily. I imagine when they play against some of the teams in this Atlantic 10 this year, there's a couple teams with just one loss so far to start the season, Chris, but the Rams, if they can respond to getting punched in the mouth early and continue to play second halves like this, they are going to figure out how to close more games against some higher level opponents and could make some serious noise in the A-10. That first road game on New Year's Eve against Dayton is going to be very telling for the rest of this season.
Fordham Rams losing 2 of their first 4 this season. It's been a lot better since then. They've gone 6-2 since then, and especially in this one, it seems we've seen Fordham Rams at multiple stages playing their best ball. We have Troy Hamill now coming over to the booth. He'll join us for a few seconds for a few questions. Troy Hamill joining Coach Magpayo from UC Riverside last season, and I'm going to give him the microphone here. Coach, thank you for joining us here today. Coach, obviously, you're one of the guys that came over with Coach Magpayo. You have a long experience with him. You know what it feels like when your team plays their best ball. What did it feel like today? Was that close to what you think your team's best ball looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're these last few weeks are really starting to find our rhythm. I think just the preparation, the guys' ability to execute scouts as we're getting ready throughout the week has really been impressive. These last few games, I think it's starting to show up on the court for us, and that's something I think Coach Magpayo's strength is his preparation, his attention to detail. So it's really translating to our guys, our teams, and we're starting to find a rhythm there.
Yeah, Coach, I want to ask you about Jack Whitbourne. Made his debut for the Rams today, scored 8 points, and looked like he had some pretty good control in the paint, control of his body, and just control of the game and the speed of how things were going. Can you just talk a little bit about his debut, what you guys were looking out of him, and just what you saw today?
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's had kind of a nagging injury end of summer and through the fall, so just trying to be safe with him, thinking long term. But he's been working all the way through, so getting in shape, getting ready. We've been building him up, so glad we could get him some minutes before this Christmas break. But he's a load down there. He's a big fella. He's skilled. He's tough. So he's going to be a great extra piece to add here as we go into conference play.
And it looked like those free throws he's been practicing for a while. They paid off there.
Yes,
nothing but
absolutely.
rim on the 2 free throws. Also a guy who really made a lot of noise today, and he's been making a lot of noise recently. Rika Schulte. He's been fantastic. Today was no different. How much better is this team when he's playing really well?
Oh, it makes all the difference. And he's Mr. Consistent. Whether it's practice games, you know what you're going to get out of Rikas. And when he's time, he hit a nice 3 for him today. But he's been great finishing around the rim. Defensively, just his nails on his execution. So yeah, when he plays well, we generally play well.
Yeah, he got a lot of rebounds too, 13, and he got up to like 8, I think, just at halftime. So incredible game on the glass for him. Also want to talk about Day-Day Reeves a little bit because he's been another one of those guys who's been really consistent for this Rams team, but Christian Henry goes down at the end of the first half, doesn't play in the second half. How huge was Day-Day Reeves' performance kind of picking up the slack where Christian Henry couldn't because he couldn't play?
For sure. No, Day-Day's been massive for us. And like you said, just another everyday consistent guy. And no matter what situation, we'll put a lot on Day-Day's shoulder on the offensive side, defensive side, and he takes it in stride every game. And just a guy you can really count on. And another great game for him. 19 points. He does the job day in and day out.
Yeah, one more for you, Coach. We talked about it the whole game. It felt last 3-4 minutes of the first half, felt like something changed. Whether that was efficiency on the offensive end, effort on the defensive end, just felt like 2 different teams. What changed there and led to that great second half?
Yeah, I think the last couple of games, our defensive ability to kind of play man, play zone, sprinkle it in, and get some stops, and then we just started to find our rhythm a little bit offensively. It was a defensive battle that first 14 minutes, not a lot of points, but to see a few go in to end the half, and I think we finished the first half with 7 straight stops, so that's just huge momentum going into halftime, and we were able to carry it into the second half and get the job done.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Coach Troy Hamill joining us post-game, New Haven and Fordham. We appreciate his time, and I'll take that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Taking the microphone away from Coach. Coach, as I said, joining Coach Magpayo from UC Riverside amongst that new group, that new coaching staff, along with Derek Phelps, Kevin Smith, Matt Hurwitz, and, of course, Ryan Hyland, our friend. Ryan Hyland. For us from the Rose Hill Gym, Chris Carino, Tucker Austin, we had an absolutely fantastic time this afternoon. We hope you all have a fantastic holiday season and a Merry Christmas. The Fordham Rams get it done before going into 8-10 play next week, 65-47 on this Monday afternoon and Kids Day over the New Haven Chargers. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and have a fantastic day. You're listening to Fordham Men's Basketball on WFUV Sports. We're going to send it to the post-game show. Of course, we've been hearing her all day long on the updates, Maggie Danahy, and, of course, our host, Colin Banks. Take it away, guys.
The one-on-one post-game report.
Fordham improved to 9-4 after an 18-point win here at home over New Haven. Really improved on a momentous ending to the first half. It was a little shaky at the start, but they really looked good down the stretch of this game. What did you like out there, Maggie?
Yeah, what a great way to go into conference play. Super convincing, especially in the second half. They really took charge of the game there, which I think a lot of people were expecting them to do after kind of a bit of a rocky first half.
I mean, yeah, really shored up that defense. New Haven shooting only 37% from the three. And we talked about the three ad nauseum at that first half. Fordham went 1 for 9 going into the first half. Improved a little bit. 5 for 17 by the end of this game, but looked away from that three, which I thought was ultimately a really good choice, and really was pretty dominant in the paint.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They definitely improved on that 3-point shooting from 1 and 9 to 4 and 8, 11% to 50% first second half, which is definitely super promising. They did kind of look away from it and focus on the paint, which we were talking about. And I think that they definitely played to their strengths a little bit more in the second half, which probably is why they were more successful.
Yeah, additionally, forcing turnovers, capitalizing off turnovers, 16 points off turnovers in this game. Fordham really looked solid on defense in that second half. Obviously, New Haven did a little bit of scoring down the stretch in those last few minutes, but it was really a dominant effort, from those last, 4 minutes or so of the first half going into the end of the game. Solid bench effort as well.
Yeah, I was just going to bring up the bench points. In the first half, we had 4 points off the bench. In the second half, we had 20, which is definitely something that we have. We do have some depth on this team, and to capitalize on that is definitely super promising when they didn't really have that presence in the first half.
Yeah, and then, Rika Schulte and Day Reeves really standout performances today. Schulte with 13 rebounds, nearly extended that double-double streak he's had going on, but only 9 points in the effort today. But he was really tremendous. Just definitely a force in the paint on both ends. 3 steals as well for him, and then Day Reeves, a great scoring performance, 17 points on the day.
Yeah, Day Reeves had a definitely strong presence in scoring, 19 points. Rika Schulte, the next highest scorer for Fordham with 10. Again, like you said, Schulte was super strong, had 13 rebounds. Bodija behind him with 7. Just a super well-rounded performance, especially from those two that you brought in. I think what was kind of nerve-wracking for Fordham fans was hearing that Christian Henry would not be returning for the second half. Someone who's had such a
solid year.
Yeah, such a solid year, such a big role in this team. We obviously hope that everything is okay. But yeah, so.
I mean, I thought they just looked really good out there. That's a great way to enter conference play, and I think the Fordham Rams are turning a new leaf.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these last 3 games with these strong, convincing performances is such a good way to head into conference play, and I'm excited to see how they fare in conference play, and I feel like this is really the test to see what this team can do.
Yeah, and I think that may do it. We will see you on New Year's Eve against the Dayton. That will be a big game. Thanks to I'm Colin Banks. Thanks to Maggie Danahy, Kurt Sipple, and Travis Hayden. This has been a Fordham basketball production.